welcome back. We are here with the 17th episode of Kicking It With This Guy, Killboy. So, he's your primary host, Daryl Cannon.
I don't know about primary. You do a lot of talking, and I'm okay with that.
And I am Lori Cannon, aka Killgurl. And this week we are coming to you from what we're going to call Camp KB, top secret location.
It's our yard.
So, we haven't done a sit-down style podcast in a while, and thought we'd, sit outside, enjoy this beautiful fall weather, and bring y'all a little bit of news of what's going on, what's been happening. I said that backwards, but you get what I'm saying.
What's about to happen.
What's about to happen.
What's been happening.
Been happening.
And you can tell the temperature change because she's broke out the Seattle flannel. I'm still sweating in a t-shirt here. It's not that hot, but it's definitely a lot cooler than it has been. So we're in the part of the season where it's awesome out. It's the best time to get out. Obviously everybody else is thinking the same thing, so you got to deal with all that, the crowd and whatnot, but it's not too bad. Pick your times, pick your days. This is a really good time of year.
Yeah. It was a little overcast earlier, and we've had some blue skies kind of pop out behind us just in time. Thank you. So, it's been a busy and kind of hustling, bustling couple of weeks here. Daryl got to spend a little time in Georgia last week doing some race car things and racetrack things. Tell us all about that.
Well, Thursday or Friday, we met up at AMP with Justin and Gavin with some cool cars, and we did some videography out there on track during member time. Put GoPros on all the cars, got to watch them play. We shot a little bit of drone footage when it was allowed, and we're working on putting together that video and make a few videos out of it. We rented a whole bunch of GoPros basically because we couldn't put big rigs on the cars like normal. But that was really fun. It was fun to watch them drive each other's cars and driving their own cars. Yeah, Saturday I went back to AMP. They had the kart racing there, and I flew the drone for the live broadcast on that and got to chase the karts around with my FPV drone, which I've been doing that for 3 years. And really good racing, good conditions, didn't break anything. So it was a good day. And then stayed the night down there Saturday night, and then Sunday morning I went to Caffeine and Octane and got to be in the premier area with Vinny with the GTD, Mustang GTD, and Justin and Gavin all around the central merch booth for Caffeine and Octane. Worked with Bruce to fly the drone some and get some content for him. They're very particular and strict about folks flying up there, so do not fly at those events without getting permission from the owner of the event. And then came back home and just basically slept for like 12 hours last night. It was a pretty intense 3 days. During that time while I was away, a lot was going on up here. We had probably the busiest weekend on record at the store and in the area. It was very intense up there. A lot of action, good and bad. A lot of people said they really enjoyed the show and all the crazy vehicles that they got to see come through. Brought their kids up and things like that. So that was really cool. There was a lot of drama. A lot of y'all heard about what went on in Gatlinburg and stuff as far as the Slammed Enuff event, and we'll touch on that a little bit. But at the end of the day, that's not really in our control. But we'll try to influence folks the best we can to use what we, what voice we have in the community to always do what we can to promote good enjoyment of the place, but not be too preachy. That's always the line that we're walking. I missed out on the action around here this weekend, but I got to see my own thing, do my own thing, and it sounds like I probably was in the right place to to enjoy some cool stuff that I got to do that I'm very grateful for. Had a good weekend.
Shout out to everybody that enjoyed the Random Rexy edition last week.
Yeah, I think that was, needless to say, that was a pretty popular addition to the podcast, and we'll be keeping that in mind and as needed bring it out to make drop in information and things that we forgot to mention maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, Rexy, he said he's down for that. And he's got some friends that they're willing to make appearances too as needed. So we'll keep that in mind. Which kind of brings up to the next bit is the next episode's going to be coming up really close to Halloween. And I don't know, should Rexy come back for Halloween? Should it be one of his friends? Should we do it in special makeup?
Yeah.
What
If you
do
haven't
think?
seen her special effects makeup, go to killgurl.com, spelled with a U. And she's got a section on there that shows some of her past SFX makeup work, and it's really impressive. We've had some fun times with all that stuff, so may do that again. May do big giant inflatable extinct animals. Who knows? I got Lily trying to claw up in my lap here.
The Lillard. You want to bring her up and you want to say hi to everybody, Lily?
Come on, Bill. Come on. Well,
You gotta help me. I'm too little.
Come on. Here we go.
This is
Lillard.
Lily. Y'all have seen her before. She went for a ride with us one time.
All in front of the camera. Hey, hey, hey.
Ooh, hey, man.
Come on. Get it.
Had a little Lily interlude there. A little Lillard time.
Litterlude.
Lillerlude.
Rowdy, what you doing?
Wanting in on the episode too.
You getting in on this, Rowdy?
So as Daryl mentioned, this past week and weekend has quite possibly been the busiest on record for just traffic, for the businesses, the road. We got a little inundated, y'all.
Yeah, it was some of the highest volume of store sales that we've ever seen here.
Yeah.
Up at the store. So.
And I think a lot of
pretty
that really attributed to what Daryl touched on with the Slammed Enough crew. So their gathering this year in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville area did not go exactly, I guess, as they had hoped or planned. Things got a little rowdy. They might have got shootout of a few places. So hence they can't congregate there, so they're going to branch out. Hence, we saw a huge influx of traffic in our area due to it.
Yeah, I think it was made pretty clear that most of the people who were causing problems were not really part of the event and registered participants and stuff like that. That's not their normal, MO. So it's unfortunate that other people were able to come in and do it, but it looks like they're already looking at options for different locations. And, somebody else made the point that it really should probably take place in a controlled venue that's gated and stuff like that, not just open for the public to come into and ruin. Basically, you have more control over what goes on. Once it gets that big, it just becomes overwhelming, I think, for the organizers to really be able to control what happens. And unfortunately, you get some bad apples in there that are just ruining everything and not concerned about the sustainability of it. So, that's always been a concern of ours with the area that we're, more invested in, which is the Dragon and sustainability. Think about things long term. We don't want to have issues with things getting shut down like that. So, it's pretty eye opening to see how things got out there. Yeah. I'd rather not be super busy and have a more sustainable day-to-day enjoyment of the place than for it to be very busy and lucrative as far as the business goes, but that's not sustainable the way that things were going down last week. That would not last, and we don't want that. So I'd rather just slow down a little bit, and that's fine. And there was some accidents and some incidents, no doubt, but there was also some serious ones around the Dragon, down on the lakes and on Foothills Parkway. I saw a couple.
There were some fights over in Pigeon Forge, but thankfully that part of it did not spill into our area. But what did kind of spill over into our area was some really cool cars that came with the event. Yeah. And I haven't ever been to an event like that, but...
Do you ever go to rod runs or anything?
As a kid, we went to rod runs, and I went and rode around with Leanne a couple of times.
That's right, yeah.
But it rained, so there wasn't anybody out.
Yeah, we did rod runs. I'm in my 50s, and when I was in my teens, living with my parents, we did rod runs in Pigeon Forge, and it was strictly old cars. But as of the past, decade, 5-10 years, even the rod runs have turned into more trucks and some import cars and stuff. And that's just another factor of something being totally open to the public. You can't stop people from coming out in whatever they want to come out in. And that's where maybe having a private venue would be beneficial.
Yeah, so like a speedway or something.
Yeah. So you got some pictures to talk about a little bit here?
Yeah, so, with the group, slammed enough. Okay, what's a slammed car? Well, a little self-explanatory, but some people, like our parents, may not quite understand. So you slam something down, you make it go as low as you can. And, I mean, these guys...
How much is enough? Enough is enough.
They take getting low to a whole new level.
Sacrifice tread life for just getting the car another couple of inches lower.
And you see them stanced out with the wheels like all kind of gagged out on the side. They're riding on the sidewall. And while that's not our preferred modification to a car, because I feel like we would go through tires way quicker than what we do.
We already go through tires fast enough. I don't need to be going through them faster.
It's not our thing, but I can still appreciate that someone enjoys that and enjoyed modifying their car to look like that, had fun with it, hopefully. And then you have some really cool kind of custom looking cars like this. I don't know if we ever really concluded what this car might be, whether it was a...
Yeah, it kind of looks like a Mazda RX-7 second gen with that hood scoop and the body lines that it has. Really impressive what they did with the front lights and the molding over them, the 4 little protrusions or whatever there, but I can't figure out what the hood scoop does. I assume that the headlight NACA duct is an air intake for the engine maybe. So if that's the case, what's the hood scoop do? The intercooler's in the front, so I doubt that there's an intercooler up under that hood scoop. I love what he's done with the fenders, how smooth and molded in those lines are. I'm curious to know what that car even is. Is it a Porsche like 944 or something, or is it what I suspect, which is a second gen Mazda RX-7? I'm not sure. Somebody tell me.
They did a really good job. If it's so clean and nicely done that they've got you guessing on what it is.
That's definitely a one of one too. I bet you there's no other car in the world like that. It's pretty cool.
So very nice. Had a few running around with no hoods.
The hoods blew off. So much power. Maybe the turbo sucked the hood into the turbo intake there.
Oh, and then we got the mellow yellow car.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's like an actual livery from a Japanese racing series, or if that's just the NASCAR livery, the Talladega Nights livery slapped onto, or no, not Talladega Nights. What was Tom Cruise NASCAR movie?
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. The Days of Thunder livery slapped onto a Nissan GTR. That's pretty cool though. I really like the fender treatment, how smooth they did all that.
Yeah.
The fat wheels and tires, not ridiculously cambered out or anything, but still pretty low.
Hey Lily, you could probably fit in those tires.
You can fit in those wheels.
Fit in the wheels, not the tires. The furry takeover happened.
Yeah, so that guy contacted me. He was looking for his photos, but that was a really wild costume. It's pretty scary at first glance, but yeah, nightmare fuel, I think is what I called it.
I heard it was really cool to just kind of see the people in the furry costumes just nonchalantly walking around the store, shopping, no big deal.
Full regalia on and going through the merch, flipping through all the different things, and it was really cool.
I bet it's kind of difficult to see out of those costumes.
Yeah.
So, you have to really...
You've worn, like you were wearing the Rexy costume even, and it's got that mesh, and you're trying to read
Very
your
hard.
notes through it, yeah.
And I don't know if this person was with the furry group or not.
It seems like it was going through on the same days that they were. I can't think of the name of that type of creature, monster. I want to say that there's some kind of fairy name for it.
I think you're right, but it's just, I was kind of looking through the highlights and stuff to pull to talk about, and I'm like, okay, that's one of the most fantastic, creepy things I think I have ever seen bulging out of a car.
Yeah, that's wild.
And the classic Hondas were in town, and I feel like they had a really good turnout this year.
Yeah, I'm sure they were kind of wishing that it wasn't so busy, but they had a good large group of people, so that was, hopefully they found some time to have some fun out there and not have too much to worry about.
Had, cool stuff from SUVs to convertibles.
Wagons. Yeah, we've got
Wagons.
a white wagon here with white wheels. Is that a mirror on the hood out there, I think?
Yeah.
It's that protrusion on
I think that's
front.
another mirror.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And the Fit Fest, I believe, emerged along with that. Had several fits in the area. One with we're going to go with the 90s kind of Miami Vice vibe to it.
Oh, that's a paper cup.
The paper cup.
Yeah, there's a paper cup pattern.
And then there was also a bike that kind of matched.
Similar paper cup pattern on there.
And then the Minis and Brappalachia.
They brapping.
Came through, had them a little mini rally for the fall. Always good to see those folks out. And then the Triumph MGs gathered in the area, and I believe they were headquartered over at Fontana Village. Some looked a little, rowdier than others. Some
there was one that had
stock.
like the motor all sticking out of the hood. I can't imagine how tricky that thing would be to drive at full throttle.
Check out the wing on the back though, too.
He's trying his best to get some grip in the back of that thing, but at low speeds, that wing's doing nothing, and you still got all that power, no weight. It's got to be crazy. And short wheelbase. Kudos to you for being able to drive that thing.
Definitely an interesting car.
Yeah. We had some travelers from around the way that had a lot of gear on their bikes, and obviously not from around here. Can you tell what that license plate says on it? Where it's from?
No, it's too
weird.
Yeah.
We're too unfamiliar with it. We can recognize states' license plates pretty quickly, but other countries and European countries and stuff like that, it's hard if they don't have the country written on it pretty clearly. It's hard to tell what it is.
We've had a few rain showers as well the past couple weeks. Didn't stop folks from getting out and having a good time though. Still all smiles.
Makes for some great shots though when the rain is, you always notice that in movies too. The roads are always wet, and it may not be raining, but the road is still wet, especially at night. Any kind of filming they do, they always have the roads watered down. Even if it's in the middle of a desert, the roads are wet, and it just makes for good shots, good reflection, keeps the dust down on the gear and equipment, I guess.
Good atmosphere. Got the
Code Brown Porsche
Brown
coming through. One of the days I was running up there to do something. Makes for a good environment to get a couple of shots of Old Faithful in there. 107,000 miles on it. So we bought it with 7,000 miles 3 years ago.
I think so.
Long? So 100,000 miles in that time.
Nice.
Still kicking.
And we're still going to do a full reveal. We still got to finish, getting those last bits. I mean, everybody that's modded a car knows what this process is like.
It never ends, but it
takes a minute.
It's definitely some pretty big movements on the aesthetics that are still got to happen first before I'm, kind of happy with where it's at. So right now it's still in the first stages of what we're trying to accomplish. So stay tuned. We'll get there. Bears.
Had a little wildlife.
Yogi.
Had a Marty. Oh, he's got like an acorn or something in his mouth. Acorn.
That's what the locals say. That's how they say it, acorn. So yeah, he's trying to get some dinner put away.
Trying to the winter storage.
Yeah. Jacked. Got a jacked Miata.
Okay, that would probably be my kind of Miata.
Yeah.
I think I've said it before, but I like
front,
those.
The whip on the back, spare tires. Is there enough room in the front bumper for a winch? You people that drive Miatas, you tell me. Is there enough room behind there with like a crash beam or whatever? And here's somebody that is swearing up and down that a Fit can do everything.
And they are correct.
How much of each thing it can do is debatable, but he's definitely making that thing do work. There's speaking of, side note, there's a local Prius running around in the area that's red that has like a ton of stuff on it. That poor car, I feel
bad for
kind
the
of bad
tires.
for it. Yeah, he's like squatting down in the back. I hope it hangs in there for him. These colors on this truck, the blue with that red is something you would never really assume to go together, but I guess it kind of works here. I don't know if it's my cup of tea, but it definitely
Keeps you
jumps out
looking
at
at
you.
it.
Yeah, it grabs your attention. That's for sure. If it was all red or something, I don't know. That would still look good, but red and black or something like that.
It's definitely getting into the adventuring, camping
Aesthetic.
Yeah, and time of the year too. Like it seems like everybody just wants to go camping in the fall.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame them. It's a pretty spectacular.
Well, you don't want to be sleeping in a tent when it's hot. You know,
No.
It's like you can't cool yourself down in a tent, but you can always warm yourself up with a sleeping bag. It's like if it's crispy out, it's cold out at night. That's good. That's good camping weather right there. But yeah, being in a tent during the summer when it's hot, nobody wants to be there. Got a trike pulling a trailer here with a door on it. He's got 5 wheels on the road. I'm sure he's got some adventures.
I think he's got like a little horse in there. He's got a unicorn in there.
That's what it is. Yeah, he's carrying around his horse. And then some kind of little, I guess it's what you call a K car in Asia, KEI. So it's like smaller cars made for the city and stuff. That's a little van. I don't think those were ever, sold in the States. So it's probably imported, but they have loaded that thing up with stuff on top of it.
I guarantee every nuance of space in that thing is being used.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't have a bunch of stuff other than feet on the front.
Maybe they're trying to keep it open so they can sleep in it or something, so they put everything out on top
point.
and the inside's like empty.
And you got bikers doing nice things too. It's what is it Wheeler would say? Behind you they're a threat and in front of you it's a show.
Yeah, they're entertainment.
So
let them by and watch the show.
Yeah, it's always cool. Thank you, sir. Awesome of you. And a Mini with probably the most aero.
He is shredding the air with that thing. It's crazy. Dancing. Yeah.
I bet he was here with the MG guys.
Yeah, probably. It's really cool. Small little thing.
It's tiny.
How small they used to make cars. He could fit 2 of those in one lane. You could put 4 of those across this road.
Huh? Hey, if we know anybody that's got 2 of those, let's try that.
Right. See-through car, the Swiss cheese. Appalachian AC mobile. I like how you can see through the trunk, through the rear passenger door, out to the leaves. That's crazy.
And these bikes that have the really
raked,
front end and the tight handlebars I'm used to. I like a wide set handlebar. I feel like I've got more control over the bike.
And the way that you move a typical dirt bike, let's say handlebars, is they pivot from the center. But when the handlebars come way back like that, they've got to swing around. I don't know. It's got to be like a wheelbarrow or something. It'd be really trippy to feel how those handle. And I imagine you get used to it. It becomes natural in no time. Hey, Rocky.
And it's kind of the.
No.
Oh.
No. You don't need to be up there. Hey, you don't need to be up there. No. You pretty boy. You pretty boy. Rowdy, where you going? Hey! Did I tell you not to go up there?
Come on over, Rowdy.
Nope.
Oh, we got Big Dog out here.
Oh, Big Daisy's here. What you doing, Daisy?
Getting attacked by the puppies.
Big head.
So I think it's probably about the same concept on these
custom trike
big
things.
Trikes. Yeah,
they look like something from the Addams Family.
I like
but
them.
All that linkage that goes back, and then the steering mechanism, however it works, it's got to be trippy. And then also trikes don't counter steer. So on a motorcycle, you're turning to the right to go left. Then you jump into a trike, you turn left to go left. There is no leaning. So I don't know how easy that would be to adjust to if you were coming back, especially if you're jumping back and forth from a motorcycle to a trike. It's got to be hard for your brain to adapt, but what do I know? It is looking really sunny in one spot, and then it's dark ass clouds.
Rowdy.
So we'll take this sunlight while we can. Oh, that little kid on the back of the bike with the orange cast. Yeah, he's holding his arm up. And Lori didn't even notice that he had a cast on at first. He matches so well with the bike and the outfits and everything. They are definitely UT Vols fans, probably.
Yes.
I love this car. Oh, it's so cool.
We don't know what it is. I didn't look it up. But it's fascinating.
Yeah. They did such a good job with the fitment on the wheels. I thought it was really cool the way the side mirrors kind of mount top and bottom. So there's like an arm on the top that comes down and looks like it runs through the mirror and then attaches at the bottom onto the door. It's really cool. Really cool car. Nicely done. fat little Subaru from, I assume, Slammed Enuff. You know, it's a little bit pokey with the wheels, not the direction I would go completely, but it's really close. That's a badass build, and I really like the style and everything. I'm not really a super Subaru WRX person. We've got our BRZ still, and love the car when it's not spinning bearings, but yeah, that's a tight little setup there. And then my mom's favorite shirt. Hi, Mom.
I agree, Mom.
Yes.
I am in agreement.
She liked the dragons on there. I love his line. Really nice, staying out wide around the corner. You know, some people might think he's blowing it, but I don't think that's what it is. I think he's
got really good position of the tires, body position, the shoulder being leaned over, his head's in the right direction, looking the right way.
Yeah.
Chin's in the right place.
And he's from Florida, or has Florida plates.
Yeah, it's a Florida plate.
That's, you know,
impressive.
You don't ever underestimate someone with Florida plates. You never know. 90% of the time they don't, you know, they kind of struggle in mountains and curvy roads, but once in a while, man, they really impress. So kudos to this guy. Really, really good riding. Line, position. Yeah, he don't have to worry about jackassery in the other lane quite as much because he's staying out there away from the center line, not hanging over it. So it's always good to see.
These guys on the bicycles following that same lead.
Yeah. Got a bright shirts. I know these, whenever we post pictures of cyclists, it always gets people going. It is what it is. They're allowed to ride on the highways, and they're within the laws, so it's up to us to accept that, and we just have to work with them, give them some space. But we appreciate when those guys kind of stay to the side as best we can. Yes, we want to share the road and everything, use the pull-offs just like everybody else. A lot of them do, and that's really cool. We really appreciate you guys. Cool little car, little box.
Little Honda.
It almost looks like 4-spoke wheels, but they're not spokes necessarily. They're pretty thick, but yeah, that's a really rare car there. I don't think I've really ever seen one of those. It says something on the front license plate.
City 2.
City 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might be like the model of it. Says it's a turbo. Wonder how much get up and go that. I mean, when it said there, spin the tires.
Is it rear engine? Does it have a little scoop in the back fender?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it's got a little scoop.
Wouldn't it be cool
there.
if it's rear engine? I doubt that it is, but it seems like it still has a bunch of stuff going on in the hood, but who knows? That's
Maybe
cool.
it's a conversion. I wonder if it's brake ducts, cooling ducts.
Yeah, could be. A painted DeLorean. So they're normally stainless steel bodies, and I don't know if they have a problem with them rusting or something. Maybe you guys tell me. Is it a hassle and upkeep to keep them from rusting? Do you have to like constantly oil the things, the body panels or something? I don't know, but
I think I've heard before that you do that. There's a pretty involved process to keeping them looking good.
Yeah.
Unless you like clear coat it.
Stainless steel doesn't mean stainless. You know, it's to degrees how good it is at resisting rust, and I've seen stainless steel rust. So maybe this was the smart move, but it almost seems sacrilege. I would maybe just clear coat them or something. I don't know. But it's cool to see one red. Yeah. Oh, this wild.
The
Toyota
aliens have landed.
with the green lights on it. Yeah. Did a really cool job with those.
You know, had some passengers that, I mean, maybe they were super thrilled, and maybe they weren't so thrilled. Who knows?
I think the one in the back is wanting them to speed up. Somebody's holding them up. Oh, there he is again.
And then free hugs.
He jumped onto a faster vehicle, and he's like, yes! He's throwing up the hands.
Dogs.
Some dogs in cars, always a popular option.
It's like, you're gonna want to go left up here, Captain.
Then we got some jackass chasing cars down the road with his RC car.
It's like, hey, come back, I want to race. Then we had a rather impressive group of rare and limited production McLarens come through.
Yeah, special guests.
Ooh, I like that. And the car of note or prestige, the car of the moment, the big cheese, is going to be the McLaren F1.
Yeah.
And we didn't have just one. We had 3.
And it was Ed Bolian driving the green one. We chatted a little bit by messenger, and he got some of the photos and posted them on his social media. can hear something going by making a lot of noise and going pretty slow. So it's probably a Grom or something along those lines, which we have them. I'm not picking. We have one too. Maxed out at 55. That thing sounds like it's about to blow up. But yeah, we had some really cool cars come through. The McLaren F1s. They had 3 of those, and those things, you know, they were sold for like, I don't know, 1.5 or something like that when they were new, but they're worth like 20 to 30 million now. So it was like 100 million just in 3 cars coming through there. Pretty wild.
It's a 3-seater sports car, meaning the driver sits in the center and the 2 passengers sit beside him, just behind him, and their feet are right here under his nose. Probably why it wasn't a design that stuck around very well.
Should have. I love the center seating idea. I've never driven a car with a center seat. Go-kart, closest thing I guess I've come to, but I think that'd be really interesting. To be difficult getting in and out. You got to step across the damn footwell of either side, you know, to get out of the car. I'm sure it's a laughable process seeing somebody trying to climb out of one of those things, but it'd be kind of cool.
See, in addition to the 3 McLaren F1s, there was also a McLaren Speedtail, which was a limited production hybrid sports car. I believe it is now McLaren's fastest production car. And it
top speed,
yeah, the top speed on that car is 250 miles per hour.
And you notice like all the things that they do to make them as aerodynamic as they can. You see the covers on the front wheels that stay static to direct air into the brakes and out of the braking area, and they also have those pop out mirrors on the side, or video cameras on the side, so there's no mirrors. I guess that they can tuck those in for a high-speed run or whatever. I mean, you don't need to see what's behind you when you're going 300 miles an hour, I guess. So.
Not many people are going to be.
But legally, you still got to be able to see behind you.
And along with the F1 and the Speedtail, there were also a couple of P1s, the HDK. There's several different special editions of the McLaren P1s, and each one of those cars is hand assembled by a team of 61 engineers, and they averaged 1 car a day. Hand assembled, it just has a certain sophisticatedness to it, I think. And along with those was a Senna, a McLaren Senna. And they were named after a very famous F1 racing driver. Daryl, can you clue us in on who that was?
Ayrton. And those cars also have see-through doors, panels. So they've got like a panel in the middle of the door sides. It's supposed to be like plexiglass or glass or something, and you can see through them. But I don't know about that one. It may be painted over or something. Maybe they're not doing that on all of them. But
yeah,
that one's got a wild color, colorway, color scheme, paint scheme, livery, rolled in something, and stinks.
Yeah. He loves the stinky stuff.
Quit. Badass Porsche 935?
935.
935.
Porsche is celebrating its 70th anniversary by unveiling a track-only 935, and they only were producing 77 units. And there were 2 owners. This is where the photo of the car we have on the Dragon comes in, that there were 2 owners that were very determined to have their cars, to be able to enjoy their cars on the street and not just the racetrack. They enlisted the expertise of a British engineering company or engineering firm called, and I just looked up how to pronounce this earlier and I've already forgot it. Lanzanti?
It's L-A-N, right?
Yeah, Lanzante.
Yeah, yeah.
And they are renowned for adapting track-only hypercars for street use. They debuted 2 road-converted Porsche 935s at the 2024 Goodwood Festival of Speed. And it's actually a lot of work that goes into making this car road legal, especially for the United States. And there was a lot of little nuances that went into it that was fascinating that I'm not going to go over here, but I'm going to leave a link to the article I found. If you're interested and want to look over that, it's a pretty fantastic what they do to make this car legal for the road. And in addition to those, we also had an RTR, make sure I'm saying that right, RTR Mustang come through.
Yeah, this was Von Gitten's company, and their design idea sort of similar to the Mustang GTD. Got the wide body kit. It's got a lot of power. Got advanced suspension, but it's not quite as, you know, insane of an engineering feat as the GTD was, but it's also not as expensive. So it's a pretty cool car for the money, I guess.
And speaking of cool things, the Road and Track article came out, their Road Trip America. We have a cameo by Daryl. And we get to see them driving around the BMW M Coupe, which was, I don't know, I fell in love with those cars. I fall in love with all the cars. I like all the cars.
Clown shoe, is what they call it? Clown shoe. I like the ones that, that with the M spec that had the quad exhaust and the fatter fenders in the back and everything. At the time when they were sold and brought to the United States, they were the quickest BMW sold. 0 to 60 time for those cars was fairly quick for its time, and it was faster or quicker, not faster, than any other BMW being sold in the United States at the time, if I'm not mistaken. Always that asterisk. I could be wrong, but from my recollection, that was the deal with them.
So things that are going to be happening. I took my rock off the paper, and that's what happens. So what's going to be happening as of the air date of this podcast is going to be the GTR versus the Dragon Rally and the Protege Rally. So not a lot on the calendar.
Mazda Protege, for those that may not be familiar. If you're not in the car scene, you're in the bike scene or something, you're like, what's the Protege? The Mazda Protege, it's a car. And then this group, that's not a super big group. The GTR group will be pretty big, the Nissan GTR. Annual rally. They put a lot of work into it. We're sponsors of that thing, and really impressive how much work they put into it. So that'll be a bigger one, but it won't be massive. It won't be like, slammed enough.
Rowdy coming through.
Rowdy, let's do it.
You're just going to sit right there, Rowdy.
Rowdy, you are not as small as you think you are.
Doggy break.
I don't want you. That's my purse.
Nope.
Oh, there we go. All right, we're
There's
good.
a bird.
All right, make progress. Let's go while they're gone. Hurry up.
So, looking at the Tell of the Dragon event calendar at what's going to be coming up on into the month of October, it's going to be getting a little busier, y'all, because we're going to be getting into that peak leaf peeping
Well, it ain't gonna get any
season.
busier than it was last week, but
Woo.
yeah, I mean, this is typical this time of year. We get a lull in the middle, and then picks up in October into November, and then done. So yeah, there's a few groups on the calendar coming up, like you said, this weekend, and then was that all for this
Yeah,
weekend?
that's for this coming weekend.
And then for the following weekend we've got
for the following week, I went ahead and did the rest of the weekends through the rest of the month. So the 13th to the 19th is the Distilled Drivers Fall event. The 16th through
maybe a small group.
The 16th to the 18th, we have the second annual F-Body Fest, which is going to be Camaros, Firebirds, and Trans Ams. And Daryl, I believe, is a little disappointed in the naming of that event.
Yeah,
he feels they could have done something a
they
little
could have
better.
called it F and the Dragon. Opportunity missed. So that'll probably be a pretty big one. A lot of potential cars there.
And then the 17th to the 19th is the Ecotech Nation HHR division, which I think that's a decent sized little rally that comes through.
It's kind of small. It's just HHRs, so they have maybe 30, participants or something.
Yeah, for not a very popular vehicle, it's
Right.
it's cool to still see them
I want to
get
give
together.
people an idea of how big these events are, because the name doesn't tell you really.
True.
And so I'm trying to be realistic about how big the events are, so that people can plan and know that yes, that weekend there's a big thing going on. That weekend it's small groups. So
Good
the
point.
HHR group isn't that big.
The October 18th, the monthly Dragon Rally. Also on October 18th is going to be a Chioa River release, and that's going to be along Highway 129 as you're going from Robbinsville toward Topeka, the Dragon area. So on Saturday, October 18th, use a little extra caution because you're going to have rafters, kayakers walking down the side of the road, maybe parking a little in the road. So little mindful. There's usually signs.
Yeah, they're
let
usually
you
not in
know.
the road, but they're close to the sides of the road for sure. Is that only on Saturday?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all that it had it listed
Usually it's
for.
a 2-day thing, so that's interesting. Yeah.
The 18th to the 19th is going to be the 17th annual Attack the Dragon event. And in 17 years, they have they've grown pretty decently.
Yeah.
I think, and now they
It's a mid-sized
encompass.
group, yeah.
What would we define a mid-sized group as? 100?
No, they're not 100. I'd say they're, maybe 50 or 40 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that sounds good for a mid-sized group, about 50. So yeah, looking forward to seeing those guys and gals come back out. October 22nd to 23rd, we're going to have a meteor shower peak that will originate from the Orion constellation. Because we know last week it had
Orionids.
Orionids. The Orion constellation. You get it.
You know what we're talking about.
The 23rd to the 25th is going to be the 5th year for Mazdas at the Dragon, which I believe is more of kind of a local group. It's not like a national, regional big thing. It's more of a
rally too.
Like
Did you want to talk about the meteor shower overlook thing,
yeah, that's at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that, so stay tuned.
The 24th to the 26th is going to be Holden on the Dragon for their 5th year.
What is that?
The Holdens they're interesting little cars that I don't believe they weren't sold in the United States. You had to import them.
It's an Australian branch of Chevrolet, and they're based on like the Pontiac G8 platform, that type of thing. So they come with V8s, and they make a ute, a car truck thing like the old El Caminos and stuff, that's not sold in the States, but people either import them in or they buy the parts to convert the Pontiac G8 into the ute body, if I'm not mistaken. You guys let me know in the comments, because I know you will.
Also, same weekend, the 24th through the 26th is going to be the Rensport Fall Rally. Yes.
That'd be a big one. Yeah.
Over 200.
Yeah, I think he's got 250 or 260 signups, and then a whole long waiting list of Porsches. So this is Josh that does the monthly Dragon rallies. Josh Vandergriff. He's going to be doing this annual or biannual Rensport rally, and they're based out of Fontana Village. They've got the whole village pretty much booked up, and it's going to be a big group. But they spread out. They go out in different drive groups and go in different directions and spread out across the area.
They put it correctly whenever they said it was like a 3-day cars and coffee event.
Yeah.
That you get together with your friends, you have fun. They have catered dinners at night.
With good driving. It's like cars and coffee, standing around talking, but you do some of that, but you also do driving. So it's like cars and coffee with a track day mixed in with it or something. I don't know.
And a bonfire at night.
Some good driving. Yeah, and bonfire stuff at night.
See, and then after that, we've got Halloween coming up. My favorite time of year.
Yep. Yeah, we'll be thinking about what we can do for the next podcast to get a little goofy with some costuming. So,
is there any like cool Halloween events going on? Rolling on into Leaf Watch 2025, and we are definitely starting to feel and see some of the changes around us.
Yeah, the trees some of them are starting to do the process. We're seeing some leaves on the road when it's calm. The amount of traffic that the roads get around here sometimes makes them stay pretty clean. Dry leaves are more of a mental issue than an actual physical traction issue, so try not to let them mess with you too much. But if they get wet or if they get really thick or piled up, of course it can get slippery. The pull-offs, obviously, if they start to get covered with leaves, then people stop using them as much, and so then they get more covered with leaves over time. Did both of those just go out? So we had to make an adjustment with some lights that powered off. But the leaves are starting to get on the roads, and the pull-offs will become problematic when the leaves start to lay on them. People stop using them, some more leaves lay on them, and it just becomes a bigger and bigger problem that the pull-offs aren't as used this time of year. And if you do hit a pull-off, be careful, especially on a motorcycle, especially on a heavy motorcycle. Don't dump your bike worrying about people behind you so much. Just slow down on the road as needed, carefully, and then pull into the pull-off at low speed.
So if you're in the area for Leaf Watch 2025, check out the Tale of the Dragon map section on their website. They've got some excellent pre-planned routes for you. So it takes a little bit of the guesswork out. They've already done all of that. And should you end up in North Georgia on one of your routes, be sure and stop and check out the 129 Motorsports near Blood Mountain.
Yeah, he's got a really cool selection of Aprilias and CF motos in there. Got a lot of accessories, gear. They even have a tire shop, service center in there, and they're right at the base of Blood Mountain, right next to Richard B. Russell, Wolf Pen Road. You know, all the good roads right there. Really cool spot, cool building. It was previously a distillery, I think, or something like that. So it's got this cool design to it, and he's really done it up nicely. Good stuff. We're going to be hanging out there and doing some reviews of some of his motorcycles, hopefully here soon. So stay tuned for that.
Last time we had talked a little bit about having a fire pit and firewood, and it's perfect fire pit weather, like late in the evening and at night and everything.
Right.
Have, do your stargazing. So whenever you buy the firewood, you should plan to buy it where you burn it.
Yeah.
And there's reason for this. Like, well, I've got a bunch of firewood at home. Why can't I just bring that with me? And it's to keep the transmission or transporting insects and pathogens that may be in the wood to different areas. Could be invasive and whatnot.
Yeah. Which I've kind of seen where they talk about that with like boating and stuff. They want you to be careful about taking your boat from one lake to the other and not cleaning it off. But I really didn't think about this. Quiet. But yeah, firewood can carry problematic organisms, and so it's best to either buy it locally, or I didn't know this, she did some research on this, that you can buy it pre-heated. What's
like
it called?
Certified heat treated.
Heat treated firewood that kills the problematic organisms, and then you can transport it where you want to. It's been pasteurized basically.
And it lights easily, it burns really well, and it's safe to cook over.
Yeah, safe to cook over is another thing. That's pretty, I hadn't even thought about that. So interesting stuff. I didn't know that about firewood. Today I learned.
You can usually find the heat treated wood at places like Walmart, local grocery stores, gas stations, and even in our area we've got some roadside kiosks, which you can buy local wood that's not the treated. You can burn local wood, buy it where you burn it.
Right.
But if you
just don't transport it.
No.
If you buy it here, if you don't burn it, leave it for somebody else or something. Don't carry the untreated wood out of our area into another area. It causes problems.
So yeah, if you see one of the little roadside kiosks that says campwood, firewood, whatnot, there's usually like an honesty box or something there. Make sure you leave the money when you take the wood.
Nope.
Leave the money. Don't be that person. So the people will be inspired to keep continuing. We'll keep doing that.
Welcome to the Department of Redundancy Department, Lily.
So, and it kind of dawned on me that I neglected to mention one of the better stargazing locations last week.
No.
Lily trying to make an appearance.
Nope. Don't get up there. Don't you get up there. Lily, don't you get up there. There you go. Go chase after nothing. So yeah, we've got a cool suggestion for a stargazing spot that we forgot to mention previously, which is at the top of the Maple Springs Overlook, or Maple Springs Road Overlook. Which is the road is where they run the SCCA hill climb up there. It's a dead end road that goes 4.5 miles from Joyce Kilmer Memorial Forest up to a pier. And they've rebuilt this pier recently, cut down a tree that used to kind of stick up in the middle of it and block your view of the sky, especially at night. It was nice for shade. It's a really cool dark place. There's almost never anybody up there at night. Good and bad, kind of scary, but yeah, you can pull up there and park and walk like 5 minutes and you're out on this deck where you can just get this crazy view of the area. You can actually see Robbinsville and 129, the road, the pipe where you drive underneath on the way between Robbinsville and the Dragon. But a really good stargazing spot that we've neglected to mention previously. I think it'll be one to keep in mind if you're up here doing that type of thing.
And the next 3 to 4 weeks is going to be rowdy, baby. Where are you going?
He wants to crawl in.
He's trying to crawl in my shirt.
Inside your shirt and curl up.
You can't crawl in there, Rowdy.
Rowdy. Okay, there you go. He's good.
So the next 3 to 4 weeks are probably going to be pretty busy, especially on the especially on the weekends. We're going to see an increase in traffic in the area due to the leaf season. So a little extra caution, a little extra patience goes a long way whenever you're here. And if you see just that beautiful view, please make sure you can use a pull-off instead of stopping in the road, because that creates just a bit of a hazardous situation for everyone around.
It's not a bit of a hazardous, it's freaking hazardous. Do not stop in the road. Can't tell you how many accidents have been caused by people doing this unnecessary activity. It's a pet peeve. Do not stop in the road, please. Use a pull-off, park someplace out of the roadway, and do what you got to do. Even if it's communicate with your buddy about where you're going next. I cannot tell you how many times I've come up on people and they're just side by side, stopped in the road, talking about where they're making a decision or something, and there's like, there's a space right there. Pull over. I'm about to run over you. Yeah, it's not, I'm not fussing at you. It's not a bit of a hazard. It's very hazardous and very dangerous. Do not stop in the road. If you see something cool, though, be sure to pull over and get some pictures and, you know, make a memory, share it with other people. That's totally cool. We appreciate that. Gets more people interested in the area, you know.
Yeah, there have been a few more accidents in the area and reports of accidents. And from what I'm seeing, a lot of these could have been avoided. And
Preventable, yeah.
You know, we don't want to get too kind of preachy or down on everyone, but just maybe some things to think about when your area, how to handle an accident situation, what it might look like when you're coming up on one in a remote area.
Okay, so here's what it comes down to. Whenever there's a wreck, there's usually a group of people standing around gawking. Spread out and slow people down. You don't need 6-10 people standing around one little spot while traffic is flying up on this scene. All it takes is 2 or 3 people to spread out, go in the opposite directions, obviously, and then one person in the middle. If you need to direct traffic around a problem because there's only one lane available or something, the person in the middle is the director, and he's like holding a head up saying, stop from one direction and come this way. Okay, stop that direction, come this way. And now these other 2 guys mimic him. So whatever the middle guy does, the other 2 people mirror, and you direct traffic that way. If you can, get the road clear as soon as you can. Everybody don't need to be parking their cars and motorcycles in the road and then there's nothing to do. The person is either injured or is not critically injured. You can help or you can't help, but you can move vehicles out of the road. You can clear up the roadway so it doesn't present another danger in people crashing into stopped vehicles in the road. Again, it goes back to stopped vehicles. If they start to back up and you're warning people to slow down, you're going to have to start moving. Mm-hmm. You've got to give people room to slow down, to not hit the car that stopped and waiting to get by. So if the traffic starts to back up, you got to start walking and leave about 100 feet between you and the car that stopped so that you can warn people to slow down. Those things right there alone will make a huge difference on the accident scene. If at all possible, spread out, stay gapped behind whoever stopped to give people room to slow down. And if you need to coordinate traffic to go around where there's only one lane available, let the person that's in the middle be the director, and everybody outwards from him mirrors what he does. And he tells people to stop from one direction and come the other, or stop from that direction and come this way. You know, whichever side needs to go, he decides. Thank you. We appreciate your support in this issue.
As you come up on these accident scenes, it may not always be an official vehicle there directing traffic. It could be first responders with lights, or it could just be good Samaritans that pulled over.
Usually I'll turn my hazard lights on. If you're going to be working one of these scenes, you know, it sounds obvious right now, you know, but in the moment, a lot of people don't think about these things, so maybe get it in your head now. If you're going to be working, helping in an accident scene, park your vehicle somewhere where it's pretty visible from a distance. Turn your hazard lights on and point them either the rear or the front of the car towards traffic so that they can really see that brightness of the light. And if you see a regular person on the side of the road wearing regular clothes telling you to slow down, then assume that it's for a good reason, and they're trying to help, you know, you not end up in a situation that's going to be bad for you or the other person that's maybe injured or standing in the road or whatever. Or in my case, it was the police. I was slowing people down because the officers were in the road waiting for medical, waiting for the tow truck to get there. and I was just in plain clothes, but I had my car parked with the hazards on, and I was being very careful and paying attention. But when I stood on the side of the road and tried to slow people down, a couple of them just buzzed right by me, not paying attention. So I started stepping out into the road and would just stand there and do like this, and that would really get their attention. But you got to be careful, of course, of other traffic. But it was so slow. It was at the end of the day, and I could hear things coming from a long ways out, so it didn't cause a problem. If it's busy, you want to rethink that. But it could just be regular Joes in motorcycle leathers, or regular attire, that are trying to help, and so pay attention.
I think that's, a good little start to tips and tricks on what you might see whenever you come up on an accident scene, or kind of how to handle and conduct yourself, or be a contributing, helpful,
Yeah,
matter
I know
person.
everybody wants to look. I want to look too. Try not to get too rubbernecker, on slowing things down and not paying attention to what you're doing. We've seen people looking at TV crews and drive right into a wall of rocks. So pay attention, stay focused on the roads. There's obviously, if somebody's wrecked, it's probably a tricky spot. It's a given. So that's not the place where you want to be, looking all around while you're operating a motor vehicle on the federal highway or state highway or whatever. So pay attention, try not to get too caught up in rubbernecking, and only stop to help if it seems like that's something that's needed. Otherwise, keep going. Does that cover everything?
I think it covers that part.
So now we're gonna go do a little tech talk on a new toy that I got today. Check this out. What's up, y'all? I got a new toy. So this is the Losi ProMoto SM Supermoto. And I've been wanting one of these for a long time. They make a dirt bike version that my friend Will has that I had a fun time driving around a little bit. And they came out with the Supermoto version, and been lusting after one for a while. And then this one dropped in price for this month from $600 to $450. So I jumped on that deal, and it got delivered today. What this thing does, basically, it's got a gyro inside, and it gives it some stability. It's not crazy strong gyroscopics, but it gives it enough that it stays upright while you're leaning and everything. But you can, it's got front brakes. It'll kind of back in under the brakes. It'll drag the back tire from the electric motor while you're braking to give it a little bit of rear drag. It looks so realistic. I love the way that the body position of the rider. I wish you would stick his knee out and drag it, but you do have these little outriggers out here that will hit the ground, and they're rolling so they don't stop you from, or take you down if they touch the ground, but they give you some ability, if it falls, to just give it the gas and it'll do a little circle and come back upright. But like I said, it's got front brakes. It's got a real mechanical brake in the front, and then electric motor drags the rear brake, like I say. It has the ability to do a wheelie mode that you can push a button on the controller, and it'll get up onto the balance point and just sort of hold it there, and you can just wheelie as long as you want to. Oh, it comes with this cool little stand, so you can work on your bike and stuff like that, just like the real deal. And it comes with a little launch box. You can stake this into the ground. They spread apart that far, and it allows you to sort of, of course this would be gone, but it'll hold the bike up while you get ready to take off, and you can have a little race or whatever you want to do with people. We're gonna work on getting a race series going with these down in North Georgia. So if you're interested in it, get in touch with me. I'll put you into the Facebook group where we post up things about what we're doing with RC racing and things down there. But I'm hoping to be able to do that with more people than just me and Will. But I think a lot of people are getting into these. Right, like I said, right now is a good time. $450, and you get ready to run with the battery and the charger. It's pretty tough. I've been jumping it off my ramps for my big truck, and it's held up to it and landed from 10, 15 feet up. So I'll be shooting some video of it, and we'll add some of that to this piece right here as Lori's editing and stuff during this week. But I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be cool. I can drive it in the yard. It does okay on these slicks in the grass. It actually does better than I thought it would. But I think I'm going to get another set of wheels and put some knobby tires on them, so I'll be able to swap them out real easily. It's got a cool little breakaway rear bumper or rear fender back here. So if you do flip over backwards or land on the back tire or anything while it's in the air, then that will give way. So yeah, I think it's really, really cool, neat. Quarter scale it's called, but it's not quite quarter scale, but it's pretty big, pretty heavy. Weighs like 8 pounds. That spinning weight inside, I'm sure, contributes to a lot of that. But yeah, stay tuned for some cool footage of that. I'll be out playing around with it. And with that, we get back to the outro of the podcast. And we're back.
Rocky's
So
like, what?
with that, we're going to wrap up this episode 17.
17.
This thing will be of age on the next episode, 18. it'll be street legal.
So yeah, thank you everyone for the support, the Club 129 members, and those that purchase your dragon photos, as well as the shirts and 3D prints down at the Tell of the Dragon store. Y'all make this possible. We love y'all. Thank you so much. And the weather forecast, as we said, is looking great. It's a little overcast right now, but I mean, let's get real. This is the perfect, I mean, if we could have a little fire pit right now, I would.
Well, I mean, we do have a fire pit. It got delivered today, too.
Well, yeah, that too. So I get to go put my new propane fire pit together. But if you don't have a propane one, go grab your bundle of fire.
Locally sourced, heat-treated firewood.
For a night out under the stars, hopefully you get a little more clear sky than this.
Yeah.
And you might even catch a little glimpse of the Milky Way. Who knows? If you get,
Usually, if you get clear skies around here, you're definitely going to see it.
And no moon. You got to wait till the moon's like doing that thing where it goes away for a little bit.
It doesn't go away.
Well, it hides.
It's in shadow.
Yeah, it makes this to where we can see the stars a little better. So yeah, that is going to conclude our episode 17. We will be of age next time. Watch out. And some maybe web links and businesses you might want to check out from this episode is the 129 Motorsports in North Georgia, the Tell of the Dragon website for events and routes while you're in the area. And if you haven't booked your accommodation yet, they've got a whole list of places that you can stay and look into, restaurants too. So man, they kind of got it all in one little spot there for you. Fontana Village for other accommodations and the Killboy themed cabins. Smoky Mountain Drives for the Dragon Rallies, Rennsport Rallies, and other private guided drives. Club 129 for some exclusive content from this guy and every now and then me. And as always, Killboy.com for your dragon photos. Till next time, later y'all!
I'm sitting here watching Rocky over there just chowing away on something out of the ground.